Dr. Wanda Briscoe, and October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And on today, we have some special guests and a special organization that I would like to introduce you to. And I would like to bring up Miss Karen Thomas Pendleton and Miss Antona Bailey of Aces Angels. And will you please welcome them to Pop Up Live broadcast? So welcome, Karen, and welcome, Antona. It's a pleasure to have both of you all on tonight.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're welcome. So October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And breast cancer is something that is near and dear to all of us that are on this broadcast. So first, let's start with Karen. You have an organization called Aces Angels. Tell us how it came about. Tell us your journey.
My journey. Oh, hey everyone. As Wanda mentioned, Aces Angels was founded after the loss of my mother, who passed from breast cancer in 1997. I watched my mother battle with breast cancer, and not only with grace, but with strength. And then she had the love of her family surrounding her. And as after she passed, we noticed that more and more women were being affected by breast cancer. And after we got, when I say my family, my sister and brothers, after we got ourselves together, we started to figure out what we need to do, what can we do to honor our mom and to remember her. So we started doing the Susan G. Coleman's walk, I think in 2009, Antona. 2009, we started doing that walk just to remember people, remember my mom, remember other women, for breast cancer, and then to encourage the ones who are fighting breast cancer. So that's how Aces Angels started.
Now, Karen, you mentioned that the love of the family and support. Can you tell us how important that is?
To have family and friends to support you is very important. Some nights I didn't get any sleep. We didn't get any sleep because my mom was up at nighttime dealing with the pain. But I knew in the morning that some family member was going to be there to cook for us, to clean for us, to help us, to give me the opportunity, me and my sister and my brother, and them, the opportunity to rest so we can care for our family. If you don't have someone in your corner to help you through this journey, it will be even more difficult. And that is another reason why we started, because we had a village. It takes a village to help, someone when they're sick, especially someone who has a younger family, who has kids, and she doesn't have babysitters and stuff. She needs her friends, her girlfriends, or family members to come in and help feed those kids. Because even though I was a caregiver, my daughter was going to school in D.C. I had family members taking my daughter to school in D.C. and bringing her back to me at nighttime so I can care for her and care for my mother, help care for my mother. So if you don't have a village, it would be extra, extra hard to be able to deal with this alone.
I totally agree. And support is so important. And, there's a quote that says, you'd be amazed at who supports you when it's time to support you. So a lot of times people will say, oh, I'll support you in this, or I'll support you in that. But when they hear that big word cancer, people that you thought would be there for you aren't. And people that you never thought would show up for you are there assisting, cooking meals, running errands. Did you experience any of that? Because so many people do experience that.
Yes, my family, when I say my family, and my village was strong. My village was absolutely strong. And today I'm still grateful for them being there. And that's just the reason why we're doing what we're doing, because everyone needs a village and they should feel like they're not alone.
And that's so true. Now, Antona, how did you come in contact with Aces Angels?
Well, Karen and I have been friends since, I'll say, middle school, early high school years. And during that time, I was friends with her because her brother is also my daughter's father. So we had a closer relationship than just friends. And I was, there with her while they were going through caring for ACE, as the organization is named after. And just, ACE was such a beautiful person. There's no way that I could not help and participate and be a part of the organization. And, seeing at that point, I had not really had direct contact with breast cancer up until ACE. I did have a cousin, I do have a cousin who actually has had breast cancer twice. And I was so young that I didn't really, it didn't really connect. I did really, connect the dots for me. But to see Karen and her family, while they were going through it on a day-to-day basis, it was something that I felt I had to be a part of.
And that's important when you have friends that step in and support you. We cannot emphasize enough how important support is, whether it's a neighbor, a friend. People should not shy away if they hear the word cancer. Now, Karen, you started a breast cancer sisterhood group called Pink, Bold, and Beautiful. Tell us about that group and some of the women that are in there.
So the Pink, Bold, and Beautiful was started to for the women in my community, which is St. Mary's County. I remember when my mom was going through the process of going to chemo and experiencing different things with her body. She didn't have no one to talk to, and I'm like, these women need somebody to talk to. So I end up talking to one talked to another. I had friends like you, and friends like also my girlfriend Antonio, who has experienced breast cancer, that they could be a voice for other women. So, and it's a sisterhood. We can lean on each other. We don't talk about breast cancer every day, but if someone have an issue, then they have someone to come to and talk to and ask them have they experienced anything. I've had people reach out to me and ask me about do I have a doctor I can recommend, and I tell them I cannot speak to you on breast cancer, but I can speak on you and being a caregiver or advocate for breast cancer. So the Pink, Bold, and Beautiful women are there to support ACEs Angels. Well, I feel like they're there to support ACEs Angels to help us to connect the dots with these women who are in need or who are going through breast cancer. And it's a sisterhood that they just don't understand the love they give, I receive from them. It's like all them wrapping their arms around me. It makes me feel like I'm still in my mom's presence.
We're truly thankful for you, especially when the group first formed and you arranged for a photo shoot for the group.
I
Mhm.
remember
That
that.
was so amazing. And we've also had several members of the group to go on to glory. So we thank you for that, for just how God gave you that vision, even for the photo shoot, because that was such an amazing day. Because sometimes, when you've had breast cancer and you've had multiple surgeries and, your body parts are missing, sometimes you may not feel as beautiful.
Right.
And that photo shoot was amazing.
That photo shoot was the women was telling me they felt like princesses, and it was storming outside, but we had the time of our life that day, and I would not change that for anything. We ran from one building to the next, one building getting hair and makeup done, the next building to do the photo shoot. And when I tell you we laughed so hard, we did not realize that these pictures was going to end up being the cover of some of these women's obituaries. But the sister and we still they are every time it's their birthday or we just sit and think about something, we be like, Phyllis done said, Phyllis would have said this, or
Firecracker.
Virginia would have said that. So they're gone, but they're never forgotten because they are in our hearts. And I am so grateful again for these women.
And that's so true. And we thank you for that. Now, ACEs Angels is now a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Tell
Yes.
us the process of going through that and what made you get a nonprofit instead of a LLC.
And Tommy, you want to answer that?
I mean, I can give a high level answer because to be honest, Karen did all of the legwork, the real work, in terms of the paperwork. But generally, we were hearing a lot from organizations that were asking us, were we a nonprofit, because they wanted to do financial donations and they wanted to help, but the way their, rules or bylaws or whatever were written would only allow them to do financial donations to nonprofit organizations. And I mean, to be honest, we had been doing the same. The work hasn't changed. We've been working in the community. We've been, offering a helping hand whenever we could. Sometimes financial, sometimes morally, sometimes flowers, just different things that we have been doing in the community anyway. But to hear from organizations that indicated they really would like to help us in a, on a larger scale, but they just couldn't if we weren't nonprofit. So that kind of steered us in that direction and said, you know what, we're going to have to really put our foot down and get to work and get this happening. And so Karen took the bull by the horns, and after a few months, with a little help from some people, some key people that kind of had done this and walked this road before, she was able to get it done.
That's awesome. It's very important to have a nonprofit so that people can donate and you can do fundraising and even get community support from like different medical offices and different things like that. And so Aces Angels has 2 events coming up. And the first one I'm going to bring up is a fundraiser that you have on October the 15th. Can you tell us about this fundraiser?
Sure. This will be our third time as well, doing this fundraiser at the All American Steakhouse in Waldorf, Maryland. And it really, we kind of call it karaoke for a cause. It's a night where they have karaoke anyway, but she allows Aces Angels to take on that night from 6 to 10, a certain time frame where we can use that as a fundraiser for our organization, and a portion of that proceeds will go directly towards Aces Angels to continue, helping our cause and helping the community and the women and men, and families that we try to assist throughout the year whenever they need us.
Okay. And then you have another event on October the 25th.
So October the 25th is really like the biggest event we have for Aces Angels, where it's the community come out. It's like a family gathering. We want everyone to come out and just enjoy and this year we're adding a little more to it, to just enjoy the day, enjoy uniting with each other, enjoy hugging on each other, just loving up on each other. It's at Londontown Wharf. It starts the kickoff is at 8:00, and we plan to go all day with this one. In the morning, we'll have the walk, and in the afternoon, we'll have live entertainment, food trucks, vendors. We're going to be out there pretty much all day, just loving up on each other and just having a good time. It's going to feel like a big family reunion.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So I put your website at the bottom for people to go on your website to donate, even if they can't physically attend either of these events. If they could just donate, that is so important to help you support a breast cancer survivor, or just help, even pay for a mammogram, or even the expenses that go into putting on an event. If they could just support you, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, it would. Yes.
Now, Karen, can you give advice to someone, as you were a caregiver for breast cancer?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give advice to someone who is a caregiver for someone going through breast cancer?
I want them to know that being a caregiver is going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but you have to put your faith in God and ask every day for strength. And you have to trust that people are around you that will help you. And just know that it's all going to pay off in the end. You're going to have those memories, and you pray that you help them back to health. But if the road do go the way my mom went, and the person earns their wings, just know you will always have those memories with you, and you will always know you did everything you could to take care of your loved one.
Amen. Great advice. Now, do any of you have any closing remarks that you would want to give to just encourage someone, maybe someone that's newly diagnosed with breast cancer, for someone who has been in remission for 20 plus years, any encouragement to tell them like to keep going or just anything about support or even a prayer for them?
I'd like to say something really quickly. So my diagnosis was in October 2020. So I am, oh wow, coming up on 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Yay!
to be honest, it's not something that I take for granted, but I handled my situation, maybe a little different than others, wherein I had it, I have it, I dealt with it, I'll deal with it, but I can't let it run my life. I can't let it be my every, some people just get caught up and it's all they think about. And it's, they're just counting the days before this might happen or that might happen. But you have to put your faith in God, because I mean, you could get hit by a bus, and so you just don't know. And that's kind of how I've been living, and that's what I would encourage anyone to do, be it breast cancer or any other, illness that may, lead to terminal illness, or if it's just anything that you might be struggling with. You have to put your faith in God. If you have that faith, you can't be afraid. You can't be concerned. You have to, give it to God, say your prayer, and make it a meaningful prayer, and
Mhm.
let Him know, that you're giving it over to Him. Of course, follow the doctor's orders. Of course, do the things that you're supposed to do, but you cannot wallow in it and just let it run your life. It will only take you down. It's not good. It's not healthy.
That's so true. I always say I'm a 14-year survivor, and I always say I had breast cancer, but breast cancer didn't have me.
Amen. That's
That
right.
part.
And
Mhm.
that's important. And the Bible says, "Fear not." It's either you're gonna have faith or you're gonna have fear. You can't
That's
have
right.
both.
Can't have
Either
both.
or.
That's
Right,
right.
you're
Have
right.
yes.
I guess
Well,
I want people to know, I want them to be an advocate for themselves. Don't allow these doctor offices to just tell you anything. Don't allow them to dismiss your pain and how you feeling. Make them do the work. Make them give you that X-ray or MRI or PET scan or any what you
yeah.
need. Make them do it. Hold them to however you're feeling. Don't let them send you home with some painkillers or anything. If you don't like what they're saying, you go get a second opinion.
Or
Don't
third
worry
or
about the
fourth.
money. The money gonna come. Don't worry about that. They have to take. They are there to take care of you. You have to be the advocate for yourself. Speak up and do your research. Do it. If you can't do it, that's when your friends step in. Because when my mom when they told her her cancer was back and it's spreading, and so she went numb. She wouldn't understand. She didn't understand what they were saying. So I had to talk to the doctor. I had to listen and let him explain it in my language where Karen understood what you're saying.
Yes.
Make them break it down to you. Because
And that's
no one's going to speak up for you but you.
That's right.
That's true. We have to be our own health advocate. And even when you go to the doctor, it's important to have someone go with you and let them take notes, because your mind is not focused on what the doctor is saying and the terminology and all of that. I had someone with me and they took notes. I still have those notes to this day. And or you can just pray and ask God to direct you to a doctor that's God, that loves God, and that because when I went to my doctor, he had like scriptures all on the walls and everything. We walked in, I was like, oh, this is different, And
Right.
he tell you the most loving doctor's office, bedside manner is important too. How they handle you, even from the receptionist all the way to when they take you in the back. That's important, and the way they explained everything. So women and men even watching, because men get breast cancer too. The
Right.
numbers aren't as high as women. Have someone go in there with your doctor's appointment. Don't be afraid of the mammograms. We all hear women complain, I don't want to get a mammogram. The machine hurts, blah, blah, blah. Get the mammogram. Stop the excuses because early detection is
It's
key.
key.
It's
Yes.
the key. And reading up on and doing my research, that's African Americans' biggest problem. We don't
Yep.
find out we have breast cancer until the last minute, and it's
Yes.
harder for us to fight it. We're going to go through a whole lot. So Ladies, we're going to go get this. I'm going to keep reminding you. We're going to go get this mammogram. It doesn't hurt. It only take about 5 minutes.
That's it.
And you were like, they were right. So go ahead and
Yeah.
let's find out about it. And if it comes down to being a problem, look, we're going to handle it. We're going to
That's
deal
right.
with it because we was built for this.
That's right.
Yes. Because
So,
literally your life depends on it.
That's the truth.
exactly.
Yes.
And I'm sharing information daily to encourage you. And I have received several DMs and messages saying thank you. I scheduled my appointment. I go this week. I just went today. Let's go. We have to do it. We have to. Our family
Do it.
depends.
Or even take a girlfriend with you and have a spa day afterwards. That'll be like a big boost to do that. Make it a shopping day or something like that. But you have to get your mammogram. It's no excuses. It's enough literature out there for people to know how important mammograms is. 5 minutes is not going to break you.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. The website for Aces Angels is acesangelsinc.com. Please go to that website. Please donate to this organization. I can vouch that this is a worthy organization. If you cannot attend, please send a donation and continue to keep them in the prayers that this organization will continue to grow and they will be a major influence in the community.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you both for coming on.
Thank you for having us, Wanda.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Love y'all.
All
Bye-bye.
right.
Good night,
Love you.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Didn't end.